We have to use the tools, all the tools at our disposal to conquer this evil. The future is going to be worse than the present. The present is already worse than the past. The system thrives on your silence. If you don't trust the players, become the architect.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're live.
Organise,
Mac UTK
educate,
TV.
lead.
With
Speak, even if your voice trembles. Stand,
now.
even when your knees knock. Shine, even when the world demands darkness. Oh, fear not. Peace be with you. I love you.
I need that
One more time for her, Dorothy.
Dorothy!
Now, I've got another Dorothy. Roll, Doctor.
Call her Dot.
Doctor.
Doctor.
Right, I'm good.
Doctor, look.
Our Doc.
Dorothy, turn round.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming. I'm Dorothy Lord. Now, I'm going to do something slightly different today. I normally do my script without a script, but I've got a letter I want to just read to bring it all in before I start. And this letter has been sent from the man from the parish church, the incumbent. He's gone away for a month to Australia. He brings me food bank, so he's finally wrote to that man, Andy Burnham, the Commissioner of the Police, who have ignored the safeguarding failings of the under-5. So let me read out the letter this church member has finally wrote, because the cover-up is from the church. Jim McMahon, OMBC, Andy Burnham and GMP. To Mr. Andy Burnham, the Mayor, Greater Manchester of the Combined Authority. It was wrote on the 2nd of December 2025. And I've been fighting this for nearly 10 years. The police have already lost my case file, which I handed in with a witness, 2 witnesses in fact. So he's put, Dear Mr. Burnham, regarding Dorothy Lord, I am writing in support of the above named Dorothy Lord, who is waiting to have a meeting with you, to express her concerns about the failures of child protection in the metropolitan borough of, guess where? Where we are now, in Oldham. Yes, Oldham. It's not just Oldham. We had people from Rochdale come in. They've been failed as well. And I'm being failed as their whistleblower. I do know the details. I do not know the details of the case this incumbent of the Oldham Parish Church states. But he would. I offered to tell everybody it was PCC and have a discreet meeting with Peter Brown, and they refused to speak to us. So he would have known. So he's put, I do not know the details of the case, but I do know that Dorothy is very sincere, which is, I'm surprised he's put that, because when I met him first time, he said I were a conspiracy theorist, and he walked off. But we're like best buddies now. He's done this letter. Dorothy is very sincere in her commitment to child protection, and that she has paid a very high price personally in her pursuit of justice for children in this borough. Her life is on hold, and she is unable to move forward until these matters are addressed. I am asking, please, that you will agree to her request to meet you and present her case. This has gone on for far too long now, and Dorothy needs to have her case heard and the concerns addressed. Now, I think they won't let me have this case because Ofsted have covered up on Jim McMahon's watch the safeguarding failings of the under-5s. Our under-5s are one of the most vulnerable groups in society. They cannot speak out, they're voiceless more or less when it comes to speaking out in a debate. So I did the speaking out, and they sat me at the Red Robin preschool, one of the preschools, and I was dismissed by a vicar. I finally got a vicar to listen. I don't know whether he'll speak to me, but I'm hoping he does, because when I was on the bus on Thursday, I just had short shrift from Job Centre again.
Thank you for my
Because
light.
they don't like whistleblowers. In fact, it's 8 years since they've denied me my benefits, my ESA. I've been denied an appeal, and that's what I want more than anything. I want to go to the courts and tell them about this vicar covering up, and it's on Jim McMahon's watch. That's why Jim McMahon won't help me get legal aid. I need that legal aid because I've got no income. I've had no income for 8 years. I've been funded by my children. Every child matters, and that even means my child. Every child you've got matters, not just in Oldham, in the country, because when Ofsted is failing your children, it's not just Ofsted, it's in the whole country, because they govern a lot of the schools, preschools, childminders, and the childminders are just ignoring me. In fact, I put something on about childminders and they said, how can we help you at this place? Well, they shouldn't need to ask how they can help a whistleblower who's safeguarded and got a protected. I've got more than one protected disclosure, by the way. One's regarding Vanessa George and Colin Blanchard from Rochdale. Vanessa George is out, but he's not out yet. Now, when I ran the bus, I got a phone call. I'm sorry to divert you back to that bus journey, but I got a phone call coming back from Job Centre, and it was my doctor. I got the shock of my life because I'd hobbled to my doctor on the 2nd of January because I'm struggling to walk sometimes. Weather can affect me. Sometimes it's not too bad. I hobbled and I got there for 8 o'clock. Now, if you get there for 8 o'clock, you can normally get an appointment within 2 days, 48 hours or whatever they call it. So on the 13 days after, doctor rings me on the bus. Well, I had to turn it up because I'm not very good at hearing myself. I'm starting to get a bit deaf. So everybody could hear him, and he's at it. And I've even brought it with me today because he's told me to ring 101. The police. But the police have been ignoring it. So I said to doctor, the police are ignoring me. I said, you're the doctor. You know it's gone on. You've done this disclosure to the MASH team. Last June, on the 3rd of June, he did the disclosure after 7 years of asking him. He did the disclosure for the children, the under 5s. And they've ignored him and they've not responded. Anyway, some of what he put on it wasn't right, so I've had to amend it because when it goes into court, I want it to have the truth on. So I've amended it for him. So I told him on the bus, I says, look, doctor, I says, I've gone to the courtesy of amending it for you, but I'd like you to get in touch with the police because it's your disclosure, your referral to MASH team, you've done it on my behalf because it's a safeguarding lead in my doctor's practice. But my doctor's practice on Chapel Street, Zabby Chowen's practice, they don't do safeguarding. They said it's not in their remit. The only people they safeguard is the staff. And all the staff, the receptionist, they've all been rude to me. They've had a go at me for safeguarding an elderly lady and my doctor in the past, and they're trying to get rid of me. So when you try and safeguard somebody, they want it hidden, covered up. They don't want it to be disclosed to anybody. But I've got a load of disclosures and I'm still suffering the detriments of disclosure. Now, the gentleman who I mentioned at that church, Oldham Parish Church, he has decided to get somebody to bring that food bank for me while he's away. He said he didn't realise that a food bank was a lifeline for me, and yet I've had no income for 8 years.
I'm looking at Blackpool on Bridge. That's what I
What does that tell you
said.
then? Fishing out the five fish.
It won't look it that way. Just went to the bin, ladies and gentlemen. I burnt my coat. I burnt my new coat.
good solicitor who's prepared to do it.
Oh, well.
That's what I want, even if I have to pay. I mean, I did have an insurance policy and they wouldn't do it, and I've lost that now. But I'm still will find a way of paying because I still have an house. So at the end of the day, that justice means more to me than them bricks and mortars. And can I just say, I'm so pleased for them that have turned out today. I'm proud of each and every one of you. And every one of you who stands out and speaks for kids, you've got my utter respect. And all you who've come and helped, same. Thank you very much, Billy.
Always welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Dorothy. Okay, guys, I've got one more person left to speak now. This lad is a good friend of mine from Rochdale. This is the first time he's stood on this platform and he's ever so brave for doing so. So please bear with him, give him some respect. Please, ladies and gentlemen, Nadine.
Come on, mate, you can do it.
Thank you all for being here. First, I would like to thank Billy for inviting me to speak at the Survivors campaign. I am grateful for the opportunity to stand here and share my voice alongside so many brave people. I am here today as a survivor of historic abuse. For many years, I stayed silent. After my sweet sister-in-law took her own life here in Oldham, over a year ago, that finally allowed me to open up about the horrific abuse I suffered all those years ago. She suffered also through many years of abuse, torture and harassment here in Oldham, and there's never been an inquiry. Until then, I did not realize how deeply it was affecting me. When I did realize, I saw the damage it had already caused. It affected my relationship with my wife, with my family, and even with my children. At one point, I had to separate from them because the pain I was carrying. Thankfully, we are together now, and we are okay. But I want to be honest, the road is still rocky. Healing does not happen overnight. Between 12 and 14, I was sexually groomed, abused, in a madrasa Islamic institution, Lahore, Pakistan, 1993, 1994. 3 of the perpetrators are living in the UK today. 1 has been identified, 2 have not. I have been told repeatedly that they cannot be identified. That is something I continue to live with. In February last year, I was going through a safeguarding issue at Tameside College. It was deeply traumatic. During that time, I experienced suicidal thoughts. I shared this not for sympathy, but to show how serious and damaging abuse and silence can be. Survivors need to be heard, believed, and protected. I have since become involved with charity organizations, and their support has helped me tremendously. I want to acknowledge Anthony Seddon in Ashton-under-Lyne, who referred me to We Are Survivors in Manchester. That referral changed my life, and support saves lives. There is often discussion about grooming gangs, and Pakistani men are frequently mentioned. I want to be absolutely clear. This is not about race. Abuse is not caused by race, religion, or culture. However, this is a serious problem within our community, and too often it is misunderstood or denied. Some people defend abusers, some blame the victims, us the survivors. Many have told me to stay quiet. I cannot stay quiet anymore.
Don't stay quiet, love. Don't stay
Don't stay quiet. Don't stay quiet. Don't stay quiet.
Silence protects monsters. Silence protects monsters. Silence destroys lives. This protest is not about hate. It's not about race or attacking any community. I am from this community myself. I am from Oldham. I am standing here for survivors, for those who are hurt, for those who are still suffering, for those who never got justice, and for those who are still too afraid to speak. We deserve support. We deserve protection. We deserve to be heard. Today, I stand here for us, for survivors. Thank you.
Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Nadine.
Nadine, well done, pal.
I'm not going to lie, that's just blown me away. I don't know about any of you guys,
It
that's
made
just
me
blown
cry.
me away. And that's the key. What's just happened here today is the key. We're the first group to do it. We won't be the last, because that's the way forward. Uniting against the abuse of children. That's what it's always